I hear this question a lot. Can I reuse these crush washers? Well, with the right technique, you can. Let me show you how this works. A crush washer is made out of a very soft metal, like copper. So as it clamps onto the part, it actually conforms to the part that it is up against. And that is why it seals so well. It is very important that we flatten this and get that distortion out of the crush washer. With 220 grit sandpaper, it's easy to flatten these crush washers so you can safely use them again. Just keep your finger flat on the crush washer and make sure you're on a nice flat surface, and you can start to see where the distortion is and how much more you're going to need to sand in order to get rid of the distortion and have a nice flat crush washer again. I see it all the time where people won't flatten these crush washers, or they won't use a new one and wonder, why is the brake leaking, or why is the fuel filter leaking? The reason is the crush washer was completely conformed to the old piece, and when you put it back on, the crush washer goes into a different orientation and it's just simply not going to seal again. So that's why the manufacturer says use a new one. But if you use this method with the sandpaper, I do it all the time, it works terrific. Just keep working, take your time, and just make sure it's flat and the job will go fine. Each time I turn this washer over, you can see it's getting better and better. We've got a little bit more to go, so just keep working it until it's perfectly flat. There we go. Now it's flat. We're done. Make sure you do both sides and we're ready. Sometimes, even if I get new crush washers, I'll still use the old ones, but I'll keep the old ones. You never know when you're going to drop one or you need one, so that's why I always keep them. Let me tell you, if this crush washer is on some fancy dealer part, you could go all day looking for one of these at the dealership. These crush washers are expensive. That's why I go to Harbor Freight. For $5, you get all these crush washers. And even if you have to make modifications, it's worth it. Let me give you a perfect example of a typical nightmare. So I'm working on a fuel pressure regulator. I pull it out and the crush washer drops into the engine and it's gone. So now at this point, it's either fight with the dealer for hours or take 20 minutes and just go ahead and make another one. Just like I save crush washers, I save bearings and bushings. So I take a look and see which one of these bushings might work. So looks like this one's pretty close. So I want to make sure that I have enough material. So I'm going to take some digital calipers and just verify to see how much length I need. Then I'll take a hacksaw and go ahead and cut that piece off. Well, it's starting to look like a crush washer now. So let's go ahead and clean it up and flatten it just like we talked about earlier. So once it's flat on both sides, we'll go ahead and try it on the part and see how it fits. It's pretty nice, a little tight. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the sandpaper up and just kind of move it back and forth a bit just to take a little bit of that material off. It's really not off that much, but I want it to fit just right. There we go, that fits. I'm happy with that. Let's get it back on the car. Now that is a happy sound. The crush washer worked perfect. I want to go over one situation where you can actually remove too much material on a crush washer. On a caliper, for instance, where a bolt will go in and stop, this type of a design makes sure that the fitting does not get crushed. So if these crush washers go down too far, it won't seal. Taking them down too far seldom happens, but I do want you to be aware of this. So that is my technique on how to appropriately reuse a crush washer? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.